Okay, this is a short little tutorial you can follow with this, and this is an example of what we're creating. This is kind of a culmination of all the different kind of things we've learned so far. So we're going to go back to Canvas here, and this is an example of just what I showed you for. Now we're going to start with this starting images. It's going to take you to this Google folder. You're going to download all these images. So as soon as they come up in the top here with this download button, you can see there's download. So we're going to click on the air conditioner. Then we're actually going to download the brick small, and then the dumpster, and then Jason, and then Spider Long, and then Spider Smear, and then Window House. Okay, so now we're going to go back here, and we're going to create a new image here. And these are some settings that you're going to have to pay attention to, because if you don't have these settings, everything else can be messed up. I'm going to choose the photo up here, the preset default Photoshop size, and then rename this as crime scene. Okay, and I'll leave this width height. I want to change the resolution right here to 150, and I want to change the background contents to transparent. Okay, so then click on create. Okay, so this big white square here. What I'm going to do is, first off, we're going to open up the brick picture. Okay, and then we're going to click on the tab, bring it down, and then click on the move tool. So always going to click on the move tool and bring it over, and close that. Okay, so now if I need to have these things checked off, I need to have the snap to, all those things checked. I click on rulers, and rulers can be checked on. And then the show, I need to have the smart guides, I need a pixel grid. Okay, those kind of things. Click them. Okay, that's what I need to have. Just click them. Okay, then come back to it. And this one, when I have all this stuff, see the edge of the document, these little purple lines come up. Now, instead of actually click on the edit copy and edit paste, what I can do is actually hold the Alt key down, and it changes my cursor to the little arrow. And that's the easy way to actually copy things. Click and drag. So what I'm doing is I'm holding down my Alt key and then clicking and dragging. So you see I've created so now I have 3 copies there. So 1, 2, 3. And then there's a little space here, so I can click and drag that one thing. If I'm not holding down anything, but it's going to match it up with that little purple line. So click on Alt again, and then click and drag, and I'm creating a 4th copy. And click and drag and creating another copy, and then let go, and then hold the Alt key and click and drag to create one more copy. So now it's 6. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the left key, and I click on Merge Visible. So I've got a little space there in the middle. So I've just merged them all to one brick layer. So I need to click on the edit right here, and then free transform, and make sure that they didn't fill up the entire page there. Okay. Now I click on the check mark here. The next thing I want to do is actually click on the adjustments, and then add choose saturation, and then actually bring the hue saturation down. Okay. So maybe about like a 90. I can just type in like a negative 90. So negative 90 if I want to. And I'm going to bring that lightness down a little bit right here. Okay. So now I'm going to referring back to this. Okay. So now I need to create on this air conditioner layer and the dumpster here. So I'm going to click on File and Open, and I'm going to grab the air conditioner, and I'm clicking Open. First off, you need to do is unlock the background. So I'm going to do all the layers. And I click on that rectangular marquee tool, and then I'm just going to just select inside here, and I'm going to grab that little, yeah. And then I'm going to click on the, bring the tab down, click on the Move tool, move it over, and let go, and click on No, because I can put it right about, here. And then I click on the Open, File Open, and now I'm going to click on the dumpster. So I'm going to click it Open. So that's right. You can hold the Alt key down and then scroll the wheel mouse to zoom in a little bit. So I click on the Magic Wand tool. And this one, you need an anti-alias checked, and the continuous needs to be turned off. Okay. And then click on this white area. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do that. So I'm sorry. Anti-alias needs to be checked, and continuous needs to be checked also. So continuous needs to be checked. Sorry for that. Click on that white area and delete it. Oh, I forgot to change. See, if you don't actually delete, if you don't unlock the background, that's what happens. And I can click on the backspace key, select this backspace key, select this backspace key, and do that again one more time. Now I'm going to click on select and deselect. And I'm going to bring this tab down here, click on the move tool, and move him over here a little bit. Now click on Microsoft and close and no. Okay, now I click on the edit free transform, and this one I have, it's going to be down here in the corner here. So a little bit bigger than that. So about like this right here. And then I check on, well, still a little bigger than that. Yeah, that's good. And then I can click on this guy and move him over. So he went about like right here, I think. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to reference image and see what I'm doing next. So I click on the fill layer, right? So next thing I'm going to do is actually click on this little circle right here and click on the solid color. The solid color I'm going to use is this 1C2737. So that's the color that I'm using there, 1C2737. Now click on OK. Now this one is going to be at the very top here above the dumpster. So you should have the bricks, hue saturation, this air conditioner layer, the dumpster here, and then the color. So you change it to overlay. Okay, so that should be changed to overlay. Okay, so now we're going to do actually is create the now, yes, I'm going to click on the file and open, and I'm going to grab the window here. So I click on open. I'm going to scroll in a little bit so I can see that a little bit closer. And then click on this rectangle marquee tool. I want to have, so you should have maybe start with actually just the one square selected, but you want to have the two double squares overlapped. So that's when you select on. So then you want to have just this layer here. So I'm just grabbing the white windows. So I can come on to right here. Right here. And now I need to like have the window still selected. So that's why it has this little cursor, has this like plus on underneath there, because it's going to add to my selection. Right. So now what I'm going to do is actually click on select and deselect here. Oh yeah, sorry. Click edit, undo. Sorry for that. Now I click on select and inverse here, and then I'll unlock the background here, and I'll click on the backspace key. Oh. Yeah, the backspace key. If you have everything selected there, you should have a little gap here in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna click on select and deselect here. Bring that down here, and click on the move tool, move him over. So let's go. Okay. And then I click on this edit and free transform to get him and make him a little bigger here. It should be about, yeah, about like this size right here. Okay. And then you see the purple line kind of matches up there. Okay. And you click on this check mark. So I've got my whole window there. And what I do now is I'm going to create a white layer. So I'm going to click on the Alt key, Control. This is really specific. So Control key and my cursor will change that. See, it's on the layer 3 here, the window layer. Select that, and it's going to select it again. Okay. Now I need to click on a new layer. So I'm going to click on a new layer here. And this is maybe filled in with white. So on this one, I need to click on, just have that white selected. So if I need to, I can click on just to have white selected. And click on OK. Now paint bucket, and then we fill it in with white. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is actually change that. So swip. You can click on this little arrow. This needs to be changed to black. See, it's just black here. And click OK. So what I'm going to do is actually going to the brush tool. Again, I made this about 65 and 34 here. And what I'm going to do is actually create the little curtains. So it needs to be kind of in the corner here. So I'm going to just drag this down a bit to create some curtains. Doesn't have to be so big. This is really helpful to actually, when you're creating a selection first, it's not going to go outside of your selection. So I have that little curtain selected, and you just want to fill it in. So our black curtains. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think selection here. So when I go back to this, you can see his little curtains upgrade there. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And now I can click on the select and deselect now. Okay, so I've got my curtains. I'm going to bring that down to the bottom. Okay, now when I do these window panes, I need to make them see-through. So basically, I'm going to go scroll in for a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to actually click on the rectangle marquee tool, and I'm going to create a little selection about the size of one of the window panes. So just about the size of one of the window panes. Okay, then that'll be perfect, but still, you just want to correct. So let's read about the size. Actually, we'll click on the backspace key, and it's good. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to click on. I need to click on the layer 3. I'm sorry, I had the layer 3 selected. Now click on the backspace key, and it's gonna take that out. So now I'm clicking the right arrow key. So I'm just moving my selection over. So moving my selection over a little bit, and now in the middle to window pane, clicking the backspace. So I'm just moving my selection over and then clicking backspace again. So it's actually letting the bottom layer show through, basically. Okay. So you can skip forward this part if you need to, and go to the next step. So just making sure all these window panes need to be deleted here. Delete. And then I'm just moving with the left arrow. I'm just using the left arrow right now. So now I've finished that, so I can click on the select here and deselect. So I can zoom out again. I've got my window selected, okay? So now what we're gonna do is put in my JSON, right? So I'm gonna click on File and Open, and I'm gonna grab JSON right here. So stuff I need to take off that stuff on the side. So you can click on this crop tool right here and just crop that out. So I can just bring this over here, and that way I don't have to mess with that other stuff in there. So click on the check mark here. So now click on the magic wand tool. Huh? And again, both of those anti-alias need to be checked and continuous need to be checked. And click on this, then unlock the background. So if I click the backspace now, it's going to do that, but I don't want to do it. So unlock the background. Now I hit the backspace key and choose select and deselect. Now I'm going to drag that little tab down. And I click on the move tool, move JSON over a little bit, and I close that for a minute. So click on no. Now he's a little bit big, so I'm going to click on this edit and free transform. Make him a little bit smaller to where he fits in there, kind of thing. And if you want to, you can place him in the right spot there. He needs to be placed on right about here. That's about the size. His feet are kind of hanging off there. So what I can do is that's the right size. But I click on, I have to have the JSON layer selected. Now I click on this rectangle marquee tool and I just select his feet and then click on the backspace and it's delete his feet. And I click on select and deselect. Okay, so I've got JSON in the picture there. Okay, so now I need to click on this file and open, and I'm going to grab the splatter along. Okay, so click on open. Now this one, unlock the background again. Magic wand tool. Now this one I need to click on anti-alias need to be checked, continuous need to be turned off. So now you click on this once and then hit the backspace key and it should delete everything. Now click on select, deselect, bring this tab down, click on the move tool, move it over. Now you click on closes and then click on no. So this is something you need to resize and click on this free transform. And now you need to make that about the size it's going to fit inside my window here. Yeah. So bring it down a little bit. All right, that's about the right size. So I click on tick mark. Now just the handprint basically. So smile smear, click on open. Now again, click on the magic wand tool. Anti-alias is checked. Continuous is not checked. Okay. So click on this. Oh, and if I click on the backspace now, it's going to do that. So I need to unlock the background. So unlock the background. Click on backspace. Click on select and deselect. Now resize the window here and click on the move tool and move him over. And then click close and no. And then he's a little bit small. I mean, he's a little bit large. So I'm going to click on this free transform and make him the right size. So I don't want the handprint to be huge. The handprint needs to be about the right size of a human. So right there, it's fine. Okay. Click on check mark. And now what I'm going to do actually is zoom out again. So I've got pretty much everything here, but the last thing I have to do is create 2 layers here. I'm going to go back and look at those. So we need to create these like light layers that are like highlighting, where it's actually, you can see it's just turning off these lights here. And then I'm going to create these fill layers here. So this one kind of like, I'm just going actually just the white. I'm just using white, and I click on a new layer here, and this should come up to the very top. Okay. And I click on the brush tool. Okay. Now this brush, I'm going to make it a little bit larger here. Let's say like, yeah, 136. And it's the hardness of 5. So with this one, I'm going to make that a little smaller actually. Maybe like 102. Okay, so this one I'm actually going to click and drag straight over like this. So it's not going to be super specific. I'm just creating some lines over here like this. Okay. So I'm just creating some lines here. So it's kind of light emitting out of the window there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to filter and then blur and then Gaussian blur. And that's the settings I want. So radius needs to be 30. I put 30.4, but that's fine. Just like 30. And then click on OK. It's going to actually blur those out. So now I need to create the opacity down to 20%. So I can click on the slider, or I can just highlight that and type in 20. Okay, it's going to just create some highlighting. Okay, and now I click on the enter key. Okay, and now I need to create some fill layers. Okay, so first off, I need to create the. Let's go back to my reference image. So yes, we're creating the fill layers here. All right. So again, this is a fill layer with a solid color, and this is maybe black here. Click on OK. Now this one, I'm going to create some rain basically. So I'm going to create on this filter and add some noise here. So just add noise, and then I can rasterize. So I can, it needs to be, your monochromatic needs to be checked. And so I need to go into like maybe 100% there. Okay. And I click on uniform, Gaussian, really doesn't matter. Whichever one really doesn't do anything. I kind of like uniform, but still. No, I don't like Gaussian actually, so click on OK, and now I need to do one that thing. We're creating some raindrops, so we're going to click on the filter, and then blur, and then motion blur. Okay, so this angle needs to be -70, and the distance needs to be 20. Okay, click on OK, and that's our little raindrops. So what we're going to do is actually crank the blend mode down to overlay here, and I've created my rain. And now I'm going to do one layer here. So solid color again, and needs to be black again, once again. Okay. Now this one I'm going to click on filter and render right here. And I'm going to render some clouds. So I click on rasterize. I don't know what I did there. So let's click on edit and undo. Oh, yeah. Default. So this needs to be black. So right now, this foreground color needs to be black here. So it's going to be black and white. So you can click on this default here, and it needs to be black. So and click on filters, do it again. Filter, and then render, and then clouds here. So rasterize. So yeah, that's why it didn't come up. So your clouds want to be black there. So, and this one, I need to change it to overlay again. So overlay. Okay. And then I've got my crime scene created. So now I can actually save that. So file and save as. And I've already got crime scene. So click on save. Now I need to go back to Canvas and turn it in. So I'm going to go back to Canvas, and I'll click Start Assignment, and I'll click on Choose, and I click on my crime scene, and Downloads, and I click on Open, and I click on Submit Assignment. Thanks for watching.